present the case study implementing lean operation at Caesar Casino. Let's begin with the case summary first. The Caesar Casino in Tunica, Mississippi applied the Kaizen event for the lean implementation. The Kaizen event objective is to improve the process by eliminating waste. It is the Incentive Friday workshop with employees from multiple functions and level work together to identify and improve the target process. This activity led to the improvement of customer service score from grade B to A and also increase in customer spending by 12%. So I'm going to explain the activity employee do in the Kaizen workshop. Let's begin with the first day. The employee educate the lean concept and waste recognition by the word of downtime. This word refer to the waste in the work process, including defect, overproduction, waiting, not engaging people, transportation, inventory, motion, and extra processing. With an understanding of this lean concept, the team were ready to improve their own process. On day 2, they mapped the work process targeted for improvement by the several tools. At first, the employee engaged in a tempo walk and waste walk. They went to where work was done and make note on what they saw, and then they create a wall display value stream map and record the waste on a separate sticky note. For a spaghetti diagram, they draw a line from start to finish whenever a person or product will move to the new location. It shows the motion and transportation waste when work was done. To create waste prioritization metric, the team member categorize waste by moving the sticky note to an appropriate quadrant. They determine whether it had a big or small impact on and after removing. Determine if the waste had a large or small effect on quality, safety, productivity. On day 3, they identify the root cause of each waste by using 5-1 lean tool. This technique involves asking why 5 or more times whenever a problem or waste is encountered. Therefore, was devoted to try storming, which is the proposing and testing the remedy of the root cause of problem. The lean tool is 5S, which is the principle for creating a value work environment. It consists of sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. After adapting this lean tool, the Kaizen event eliminated between 25 to 90% of waste observations. On the last day, the team presented work to property executive team and manager. The Kaizen event created a lean culture. Caesar Tunica half of lean relied on 3 post-Kaizen pillars. The first one is standard work. It led to the new way of performing routine work activities. The second one is key performance indicators. Employee developed a set of key performance indicators which were tracked and updated on a daily basis. And the last one is daily problem solving, jumbo work, and executive engagement. In 2000, Caesar acquired the Metropolis Casino and named it as the Harrah's Metropolis Casino. This casino was relocated from the Liverpool to the former convention center space adjacent to the original land-based hotel. To adapt the lean operation, the executive adopt an expert-driven approach to process improvement, which is different from the Tunica approach because they believe it could save cost and time. So, is it a challenge in the implementation at Metropolis? Let's move on to the question from the case.
So for the question 1, What are the most important elements of the process improvement approach pursued at Tunica, and what benefit would derive from this approach? So we have 6 elements that we want to display. The first one is the lead team. So according to the cases, whether Mr. Hirsch got buy-in from their employees, but they still need a team of a leader who leading in organizing the events. So consists of Mr. Hirsch himself and 2 experienced skill leaders. The second is explaining to the employee what Kaizen and Lean actually means. So for typical people, maybe they understand the Lean or Kaizen as cutting their jobs or maybe lay off employees. But we have to communicate that actually Lean and Kaizen means improving the products and service. So we're not reducing the job, but we improving the service to be better. The third one is buying from the top. So relating to number 2, when we are explaining or communicate to our employees, it's not enough to get the buy-in from the bottom, but we also have to get the buy-in from the top. So like the CEO or C-level employees that should be participate in the event as well, or maybe leading some of the event themselves. Number 4 is the simple to everyone in the business to understand and adopt. So as we understand the casino business, so it's like 24 hours. So maybe there have to be several shifts of employees changing their work, and then we need to have like a simple process that everybody that don't have enough time to maybe to understand the entire process to be able to absorb the process that we want to adopt. So lean process should be easy to understand and can be applied uniformly through the entire organization. Number 5 is employee centers. So we have to actually adopt all the employees that we have. So for this case, we involve 400 staff members and also more than 14,000 work hours of their job. Number 6 is customer focus. So we have to also understand what our customer wants and also try to increase their expectation or their satisfactions. Like the example that we want to change the satisfaction score from B to A. Okay. For second questions, what would be advantage and disadvantage of adopting an expert-driven approach to process improvement at the Metropolis facility, in contrast to the employee center approach used at Tunica, and which approach would you recommend? So we are comparing expert-driven approach and employee center approach. So for the Tunica case, we will see that Mr. Hirsch choose to use employee center, but for the Metropolis case, he may have a choice to use expert-driven, which is using only a small team of expert in lean process and then use them to organize the meeting or the event instead of using all the employees. So the advantage of expert-driven team will be the time and cost they have. So we use less people and also we will consume less time and also less costs. But the other advantage that employee center have is the first one is change in cultures, which if we involve all people, then it will be easier to have like the big change in the cultures. Also, the resistance will be lower as everybody will be truly communicate. The buy-in from stakeholder, which involve both employees and also the high-level employers. New idea and innovation as well, because since employees is the one that involved in the work, then they should be the one who thinking of the new ideas or the innovation that they could use in their daily work as well. So from this table, then we recommend not using either of them, but using both. So maybe you can launch an expert-driven team to maybe organize the heads-up meeting or event, but at least we have to involve some of the employees as well. For question 3, assume that Mr. Hirsch has decided to follow a high involvement approach, so the employee approach, similar to the one he led at Tunica. What challenge and risk do you anticipate he will face in moving forward to Metropolis? So the challenge that we have point out is convincing support from top management. So when he doing his job at Tunica, he was lucky that he get the buy-in from both employees and also the top management. So if he changed to Metropolis, which is more new and also they don't have much support, maybe he have to explain clearly about the quantify benefit that we're gonna gain in the long term if we adopt this approach, and also how it's gonna be used in the employee center implementation to management. Right. The last question: what KPI we're gonna propose in this case if we are doing the hotel housekeeping management? So in short, we have separate into six aspects like safety, workplace organization, quality, inventory, delivery, and productivity costs. For example, for the safety, if you are doing the housekeeping, maybe if you can make more protocol or the safety protocol, we would prevent the accident to occur during a work shift. So we put the number of the accident that occur during the work shifts, such as a slip or fall accident, to our KPI. If you can reduce that, it would be good. The next one is workplace organizations. So we use the organization like we mentioned in the cases, like the arrangement of the inventory or the put use of two bins process. That reduce the time the staff used to find things in their room, and also organize a better ordering time and receiving time for cleaning and laundering material. For the quality, if they can organize a good protocol that you provide them a good understanding and also a good organizing of the cleaning time, they can reduce the cleaning time for each room. For delivery, so the time that they travel between maybe the room, break room and the cleaning room that they need to do. So the time used on waiting and confirming the room that needs cleaning, and the time that used to travel between each room will be the KPI that we set. For inventory, since we are doing the workplace organization, then we can reduce unnecessary order for the material that we need to. And at the last one, productivity costs. So it includes the cost that like the motivation or the employees themselves. So the number of cleaning staff that need for each shift. If we can organize a better process, then we can reduce the number that we need and also reduce our cost as well. And that will be all. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, I think quite answer well for your question. Additional for the question 3, besides get the top management involved, right? You might have like explain about they have the high schedule. So it's probably that the new employees might have sort of that to follow that the things that the current employees will do. So you might respond by they will understand that to follow. Okay. Thank you. Stop slide. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, so see you after Songkran. No case study, enjoy Songkran.